Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to my 1000 subscribers celebration, sponsored by none other than the amazing online store craftyanni, with their genius range stamp sets that I adore. And if you stick with me to the end of the video, there will be an amazing giveaway from craftyanni. But let's do some crafting with one of craftyanni's geniuses, Marie Curie. And as a start, I'm showing you the embossing folder that I used in many videos to create faux wood strips to be used later. But now I have this steampunkish embossing folder because I also need some metal along with the wood. So I use my little bottle of water mixed with a couple of drops of fabric softener to avoid tearing of my cardstock, and I run the folder with silver cardstock through my die cutting machine. And look at all that wonderful texture I get with that embossing folder from Tim Holtz and Sissics, and later I will show you how I bring out that texture even more. So I have this base panel as my first layer, and I bring out those wood strips and glue them onto my panel. This panel will only peek out from behind the next layer, so I don't glue my wood strips on the whole panel. I just make a broad frame around its edges. If you're interested in how those wood strips were created, you only have to look a few videos back to get the whole tutorial. Now let's work on those metal panels. I bring out my archival ink pad in black soot, and I use the pad with a swiping motion. Because of all the raised texture, the pad mostly touches the raised parts, making them stand out more. Next, I'm stamping Marie Curie, and because I intend to color with my alcohol markers, I use Memento Tuxedo black ink that works well with alcohol markers and paper from Canson called The Wall. I'm using Wow's clear superfine embossing powder to heat emboss a sign saying caution, radioactive. I stamp in black ink, cover with embossing powder and melt the powder, and I make quite a few signs. Here are all my signs ready to be colored with Distress Oxide inks in Squeeze Lemonade, Mustard Seed and Wild Honey. I start with blending Squeeze Lemonade in the middle of each sign. Then I blend in the darker yellow Mustard Seed from the edges. And I finish by blending the almost orange Wild Honey to darken the edges. When all my signs are colored, I use a paper towel to buff off any yellow ink left on those embossed words. Now let's make a radiating background, and I chose Dilution's acrylic paint to do it. I used the neon colors Sour Appletini and Lemon Drop along with shimmer paint in Fresh Lime and Polished Jade. I use a brayer first with Lemon Drop, brayering it on randomly, and then I do the same with the shimmering Fresh Lime, and then the neon green Sour Appletini. Next, I use the darkest Polished Jade, and I focus the brayering on the edges. When I have all my colors down, I go back to Lemon Drop and add a second layer for that yummy texture I love. Next, I'm coloring Marie Curie with my Uhuhu alcohol marker, and as usual, I have all my color combinations out so I won't have to stop and think when I color. I use 2 shades for her face, the lightest color first, saturating my paper, and the darker where I want shadows, like her hairline and under her eyes and nose, and then I go back with the lightest again to smooth everything out. I use 3 shades of brown for her hair and do the same procedure as before. But this time I go back with the darker markers again to really bring life to her hair. It is hard to choose colors when all the photos of Marie Curie are in black and white, and to avoid a black dress I decided to go for a dark blue one. Instead, I use 3 shades of blue and go from lightest to dark and light again. For the vials in her hands I use 2 bright green markers. I use a light grey marker and the colorless blender to add some shadow to the white parts on her dress. Finally, I draw in her pupils and add some brown around them before I go in with my white gel pen to add a highlight. I have this fun and versatile periodic system alphabet set, and I spell out genius, and I also add a sentiment saying you are radiating, as well as her name Marie Curie, and I heat emboss them all with Wow's clear, superfine embossing powder. To make these words and letters match, I use Distress Oxide inks in Squeeze Lemonade and Wild Honey to color them in, and I buff off any ink still left on the heat embossed words. Next, I have cut up those metal panels and I start building a frame of metal around my background. I try to use the parts randomly so the frame is uneven and have that lovely texture. I put foam tape behind my framed green background and I glue it onto the wood panel slightly off-center to the right. Next, I take all those caution radioactive signs and glue them on, sticking out from behind the green and metal panel. I glue down the name Marie Curie and put foam tape behind the lady herself and glue her down standing on the metal frame. Then I glue down the periodic system squares spelling genius, starting with the last letter so I can be sure they all fit where I want them. My last detail is to put foam tape behind the sentiment you are radiating and glue that down. And now this genius mixed media art journal page is finished, but we all have much more fun things coming up. When Crafty Annie offered to sponsor a giveaway for my 1000 subscribers celebration, I was over the moon, and it is such an amazing giveaway. And because of that, I will send it to the winner wherever you are in the world. You all mean so much to me, and I would not be here if it wasn't for you all. To enter this giveaway, you have to be subscribed and you have to leave a comment. That's it. And in the comment, I would love to know which video of mine is your favorite. I am going to use this tool called a random comment picker to get the winner, so make sure you are subscribed and that the word video is in the comment you leave me. I will close this giveaway on Friday at midnight and announce the winner during the weekend. The winner will have 72 hours to contact me, and after that I will draw a new lucky winner if the first haven't reached out to claim the prize. So, let's get into this juicy prize from Crafty Annie. First we have Marie Curie, and then we have the cute Einstein, followed by the periodic system alpha set called Periodically Nerdy. And you have many suggestions of what words to spell out included on the back of this stamp set. Next we have two stencils, and the first is this amazing stencil with that radioactive symbol that we also have in the Marie Curie stamp set. The second stencil has a pattern of a virus, and in these times it can be a great stencil to have in your stash, and you even get the little virus masks, the inside of the stencil, and I might have to shop for some stencils at Crafty Annie for myself after seeing these two great stencils. But there is more, and Crafty Annie really put together a luxurious giveaway. They sent a bunch of these toner sheets with so many fun and versatile patterns and backgrounds and sentiments. And the thing with these toner sheets is that you can foil them in a laminator. So this is the giveaway, and I hope you remember to subscribe and comment which video of mine is your favorite. You will find a link to Crafty Annie in the description box below, and they are well worth a visit. And I wish you all good luck and happy crafting.